Hello, I want to tell you about how I found to realize that Jesus Christ is the true living God. 4 years ago, when I still was an unbeliever, even though I thought there must be a God, but years ago, when I still was of a Muslim woman who, by seeing Jesus, believed in him, even though she was shocked to discover that he was the true God. And upon her last sentence in this video, where she said, if you don't believe in what I say, just ask him, ask Jesus directly if he did this for me. I was quite sarcastic, but something pushed me in my mind to actually ask this question. I had nothing to lose, so I just asked it. Did you do this for this woman? And what I could have never imagined is that Jesus Christ would actually appear in front of me. Only his face in the beginning. It was I was in my body. It wasn't an out-of-body experience, but I realized that I saw him in the spirit, and I saw his face manifesting in front of me, and those words came as an answer, I did, which left me shocked. This was the reply, that he actually did that for this woman. But I mean, no human, no person could have ever convinced me with any discussion that Jesus was real, that he was really the Son of God, that he was God, and unless he himself in person manifested in front of me, which happened. I can now talk about it without bursting in tears, but at that time I was pretty shocked. And more than that, he showed me a couple of moments which made me understood even deeply the truth about him, about God. I saw him agonizing upon the cross, bleeding, with a crown of spikes that they put on him. He was in a terrible pain. I was very sorry, extremely. It was painful even to see him like that. But then in spirit, I saw him in a white robe, standing near to this cross vision, as he told me, I did this for you. And this was told in such great love and peace, that it is impossible to understand or to explain in human words. In fact, in that moment, I realized instantly that I was very sinful. I was spiritually very dirty, and totally undeserving of his presence, to be in his presence. Actually, I was afraid and scared to be in his presence. That the feeling was that he could judge me just in that moment, and I wasn't ready. I never looked for him. I never wished to know God. I lived life thinking I was a good person, but never really trying to find the truth. In that same instant, when I instantly spiritually realized, because I think once you are in front of God, there's no explanation needed really. You understand immediately everything. There are many discussions and opinions and doctrines here on earth, in this world, but people can argue about everything, even the same Christians, even there are so many Christian denominations, and you wonder who is right. Everybody's arguing about this, apparently the same doctrines, and you are wondering why. Well, when you stand in front of God, there's no discussion. You understand perfectly that He is God. He is eternal. He is holy. He is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And that we are indeed very sinful, undeserving, and can only be saved by His grace, through His grace, through His love. But we need to repent and to try to follow Him and to obey Him daily. Although I saw myself in His presence, it was like some holy light was emanating from Him, but spiritually I didn't see. I just saw Him in a white robe, and that great love that He was emanating, that holiness, made me just feel very, very ashamed. I knew I wasn't worthy to be in His presence. And yet, that love, which made me fall on my knees and cry, scared, and sorry for all my mistakes, for all my wrong beliefs I chose to believe in. Yet that love was totally unconditional. He loved me. It's like I was the only person that He ever loved. He makes you understand. I mean, that kind of love is very personal. No human being can love you in such a way, and to go on a cross for you in such a way. Yet He did it, and He did it in a very personal way for each one of us. I used to hear sometimes, but I didn't even grasp the meaning of it, that Jesus died for the sins of the world, for the salvation of the people, and said in such a generical way, didn't mean anything to me. But when He was in front of me and He told me, I did this for you, this had a totally different meaning to me. It made me realize how much He cares about me, how much He loves me, how much hope He has for me. in the same moment, in this same instant, I realized that He's so real. We always argue how, like, is Jesus real? Did He really existed? Wasn't He just a mythical figure? Or maybe if He existed, well, was He really the Son of God? I heard in these 4 years, I heard so much, which upset me really. Because sometimes you don't know how to even discuss those things. It just, you feel things with your heart because God put things in your heart. But people love to discuss things in this way, diminishing the whole sense of it. However, in that moment, I never read the Bible. I never went to a church. I'm not from a Christian family. Yet, I realized that He indeed is real, and much more real than we can ever imagine. His reality goes beyond this world. And this world is only a moment in God's history. He made me realize that there's no even time left for this world. It's already just by grace that we are living here, and this world is still here. God is already prolonging the time. It's like if it was to end at midnight, we already live in midnight and 05, like, or like 10 minutes later. It's already just by grace. I realized that we are not as real as He is. That's the deepest feeling that I got from that moment, as well as those words came into my mind, that this world will pass away, but He will never pass away. And our lives are very temporary. Our lives will pass away. But will we be able to join Him into another life of eternity? All these new discoveries and concepts that He put in my heart in a few seconds, it was really too much for me. It took months to let's say, to spiritually digest it all, and even years to come. And I immediately found a Bible as soon as I could, and this book was alive for me. I never understood why it had numbers and what was the list of books in there, but when I opened it, God just guided me through it and taught me. And every sentence, every verse had an amazing meaning for me. An amazing wisdom was opening up. And I was just crying by reading it. This just cannot happen just like that, just by chance. It cannot happen like just for a change of mind, unless God visits you and guides you.